Good morning. Wait a little bit. I'm a little bit early. I was about to get into the music and I thought, nope, if I do that, I'm going to forget that I'm supposed to be doing this. Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you're returning. And I'll say that more than once this morning because there's just a couple of us here. Love our lurkers. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the new subs. And yes, I drink coffee on my live, but at least it's positive coffee. And I feel like we need to be reminded sometimes kindness matters. It says more about you when you're kind to somebody who isn't. There's a moderator. I was scared. I was moderatorless and suddenly forgot how to do everything, Sylvia. Good morning. Good afternoon. Ironing, binding. Good morning, Tracy. Iron stitches. I see you. Are you working on anything? Today's just kind of a free-for-all. I wasn't going to start my patriotic quilt until February anyway, so I've got next week's block already figured out. This is a fussy cut. I did not piece that. Good morning, Deborah. Ooh. The house is very quiet. I feel like I'm yelling. I might be yelling. And apparently my voice is not awake yet. It's had half the coffee. Good morning. Make it another storage pouch. Sylvia is. And I can't remember if I mentioned it last week. It was on my to mention list, so I left it on my list for this week. Last week was Sylvia's birthday. So if you haven't said happy birthday to Sylvia, please remember to tell her happy birthday because we love her and we appreciate her. And she puts up the cutest stuff, including birthday hauls that just keep going. That is the best kind. Oh. Got a little bit of a headache, so if I look like I'm a little bit ditzy this morning, that's I got a patch on my neck, hoping that helps it. Let's see. Tracy says, I'm working in my friend's antique shop. She is away in Florida, so I can't stay. I just wanted to say hi and give a thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was good to see you, even for a minute. Florida would normally be a good place, but I know for a fact it's been cold down there. Did you see the snow? They got snow. And every time I see snow in Florida, I think it's closer to something freezing over. Sylvia says, thanks, sweetheart. You're always welcome. And don't miss the block of the month that we've got. I guess I should get my list out now that I'm more awake. I set my alarm for an hour, so hopefully that's when we cut off because there's just playing with crumbs, really, scraps. Let's see. Block of the month is the 8th, so on the 8th of February, 9 a.m. Eastern. All of our Melissa, Practically Creative, Sylvia, you and me, FPP, our blocks will go up where we have a theme, a prompt, and we each just do what it says to us. That's what we're inviting you to do. Just do what it says to you. I'm making Shattered Star blocks for every month, and that pattern will be free for approximately 30 days until the next month comes out, and then it's a paid pattern from Sylvia, which she does a digital download for you, so no shipping or anything like that. And she has PayPal. Let's see. Good morning, Halo. Yes, I'm using 4-lettered words like snow. I have an awful potty mouth. I'm surprised I didn't get it washed out with soap when I was young. Says, are you cussing again with the S word? Good morning, all. Good morning. And if you missed her video last week, she shared they've got 3-yard quilt books and the fabulous five. Now I'm thinking, was that the yeah, it was the fabulous 5-yard quilts that 3-yard quilts is doing. That is confusing. If you've got a small shop by you, she encourages you, and so do I. If you've got a small shop by you that is local, please go visit them and see if they've got it, see if they've got anything you like, because if we don't support the small businesses around us, they will be gone. Just how the world works. I did not get to mine this weekend like I wanted to. Oh no. Deborah says Bill didn't get home till 2 a.m. That's her husband. Oh no. Oh, thank you for the link, Sylvia. I saw somebody I was going to say good morning to. Where did she go? Fern. It was Fern. Good morning, Fern. Good morning, Melissa at Practically Creative. Oh, and I just remember, I was like, didn't Halo do something I was going to share? Over on Angel's channel, so you could check out her information. It's all over there. She's got a churn dash. Words are hard when you got a headache. She's got a churn dash block that she is doing. It's a charity thing that she's doing. So you can check out her channel to see what that's about and get all the details from her, because everybody knows I am inaccurate. And this early, who can be accurate? I'm going to use that excuse all day though. Well, it's late in the day. Who can be accurate this late? Oh, Melissa says, computer is waking up. I'm on phone for a second. Yeah, I turned somebody else's computer on. So when they decided to get up in the middle of the live because they're just like their father, I don't go spinning. Let's see. Oh, and that is not how you spell Halo. I get hurry, and I just write down things. She is on 3 p.m. Eastern Wednesdays. And if you haven't seen my community tab, on there, several shares back now, is an amazing Grace panel. I don't know if she still has it because I didn't go today and look. But you know how I love that. Don't forget to check community tabs. And I am #1 horrible about that. They give us community tabs. I'm been pretty good about posting on mine, but I never remember to check anybody's unless I'm expecting something from them, a live or a video, and I don't see it. Then I'll go to their community tab to see what I don't know. My next quilt will be, in case you haven't heard, I'm calling it Show Me City Lights. It's a 3-yard quilt. I can't remember if I put a pattern underneath this one or not. It's somewhere on my page. It's the City Lights quilt by 3-yard Quilt. They have a standalone pattern, and they also have it in the book. I think in the books are the only places, is the only place it gives you the actual yardage and everything to upsize, if I remember hearing that right. So if you want to upsize it, I can do the math and figure it out, and I have for me, so you do you. The pattern was only $5.99, which isn't bad for a pattern, so that's what I got. My infinity chain is not in that drawer. Moving right along. It's like double wedding ring. 3-yard quilts is in my head now. It's like the double wedding ring quilt. Here's my loose ones. Here's some, and I think I have all of my arcs done for it. This uses, I'm calling it a double wedge. So it's, instead of all those small pieces of fabric, it uses a little bit bigger piece of fabric right there. Good morning, Sherry. Oh, I thought I saw something else. Good morning. Halo says we are taking 9.5 churn dash blocks this year for charity quilts. I didn't want to overstate or, mind your business too much for you. Yes, they are, and she provides the pattern so you can do it and a tutorial. The tutorial was up last week. That's where my infinity chain. I don't put things back. I have Optimus Afterlives. That's where my infinity chain quilt is going, and that's original. Nope, I hit it. It's back there somewhere. See, the Simply Vintage Christmas is actually right. Oh, directionally challenged. Right over my left shoulder. Wow, too many directions. The Minky I had was a 55 by 90 piece, and I took it and I took the long side and I folded it this way and I cut it down the middle. I think that's what I did. I don't know. I was in the floor for too long. I cut it in a diagonal. And then I added a yard. It's not even a yard because I took the 1 yard that I bought and I cut the 2 blocks out so you could kind of fussy cut it. See that? And I sewed those into it. And did you know you can use masking tape as stabilizer? Don't sew over it. You can sew over it. I did sew over it. Don't sew over it. Oh, you're fine. Angel says, sorry, it took forever to text that out. I figured she was multitasking. I couldn't get on my computer yesterday. For some reason, it wouldn't let me log into my Google account. So I got on my phone to leave a essay for someone. You know how I do in the comments. And even talk to text. It kept cutting me off. Every 4 words, it would talk. It would stop my text. And I was like, oh, this is hard. The tiny phone. You and me FPP. I did a 12-inch turn dash swap a few years ago. Good morning, Dee Dee. I didn't see Dee Dee. Oh, there she is, hiding in the middle. Good morning, Dee Dee. Did you hear the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row? It's getting a little bit boring. 3 years in a row, I mean. Forever Chiefs fans, though. I mean, we're in Missouri. We've adopted Dee Dee. She may not know it. Missouri has adopted Dee Dee. Since she adopted Kansas City Chiefs over there, we're going to adopt her over here. My big tag. Yep. Oh, I see something. Yes. Thank you for that. Okay, so Melissa's computer is awake. She says, good morning, everyone. Sylvia says, if you'd like Colleen's attention, type exclamation Colleen. You are awesome and on it. I need to put that on my list because I was thinking last night, I was like, I need to say that at the beginning instead of the end. It will highlight my name for me so I see it in orange on my computer and I will know that somebody wants my attention. Fern King, yes, they are. Melissa is, I don't know, I want to say sport challenge, but I can't find a way to say that sounds funnier. She says, is that the one where they get the most baskets? Yes, whoever gets the most baskets wins. Dee Dee says, not boring to me. Showing tag, football illiterate. My husband was born and raised in Kansas. That's right. That's right, Angel. Angel said that. My husband was born and raised in KC. Mayhem was born in KC. They are excited. However, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. We still love you. I'm sorry. Oh, Fern, born in Missouri, now in Indiana. Nice. So we do have some Chiefs fans. Go Chiefs. I've got it. Let's see if I can tilt this really quick. See my heart up there? Chiefs colors. Did that the first Super Bowl they went to. Well, in this three-year series that they're doing. Oh. Hello, you are so funny. I try. I felt like I've been failing the last few. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm sleepy. On it today. Yesterday, I have just been going until my back gives out since my last live. Going. My husband took off after he got off work Tuesday. He had the rest of the week off because they just didn't have any work for him. He's a forklift driver. He works in shipping and stuff at a engine remanufacturing place. Anyway, he took off the rest of the week, and I was staying busy. Let's see. I'm going to scoot back. The one thing I didn't have in my hot little hand. I thought I had everything in my hot little hand that I wanted to show you this morning. After the live, I got all of these done for the city lights. Oops. And my patriotic fabrics. So I did those. I did several of the wedding rings. That's just going to fall. I can't reach further down. What else did I do? It seems like I did a lot. Saturday I did these, which is what I'm going to work on today, if I get around to it. These are going to go, let's see if I can do this. These are going to go down each side of this panel. Oh, that's what I did. I put more blocks, corners around those. I sewed them together to this, and I decided I only want 6. Then I'm going to put these on here. Then I'm going to take the friendship star ring that I first saw in 3-yard quilts. I just saw somebody else share a quilt of it the other day. So I'm going to take that, shrink it up. I'm going to put that on the outside of these. These are just all the scraps that came from doing those. Sewn together randomly. Absolutely no rhyme or reason. In fact, I had to go see if I had more pinks. I did find a few more pinks. They're not exactly these, but they will work. And I had to go find some more greens because I was going to do, there's 16 on this side, 16 on this side. So half green, half pink, alternating with the white to give your isomerus, because I know I make things chaotic. Sylvia says, born in UK, still in UK. Well, I was born in Missouri, moved to Washington State, then moved back to Missouri, then moved back to Washington State, then moved back to Missouri. That was my parents. I've been in Missouri since. FOMO. Angel, you have triggered FOMO. Someone has redacted a message. This is triggered FOMO in your host. Fingers in spell check, most likely reason, but Colleen now thinks you are keeping secrets from her and everyone else. But I was going to talk about Dee Dee. Dee Dee, I watched her live, or not her live, I watched her Friday share. She does decluttering, cleaning, organizing, everything I enjoy, except for quilting, and we're still working on converting her. Thank you, Melissa. All kinds of links going over here. Good afternoon, Lynn. Bit late to the party, was upstairs cutting scraps. I've been late to the party. It is my own party. So you're not late, you're right on time. She shares everything, that type of stuff, Fridays at 5 p.m. Central Time. And this week was her paper office kind of declutter. And I was like, how did you know? When it comes tax time, beginning of the year, is when I do mine. And it was due. I was going to do it last weekend or Monday. Anyway, I had her playing, and I kept giggling because she is funny. But that's why I had the company. But I have this box. It's only this big for our important papers that we go through. That's not the keep forever box. But we have a little box this size. Wow, lots of stuff. Thanks for a link, Melissa. And Dee Dee says, I love quilting, especially when other people do it. You know what I was just thinking before the live? I was thinking I should get some Kansas City cheese fabrics and make either the infinity chain or a double wedding ring with the Kansas. It wouldn't be like really scrappy with like 3 or 4 different ones with Kansas City cheese fabric. Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that. Anyway, back to the decluttering. This little box, we don't have a lot of papers we keep, but for the year, every time we get something, I'm like, oh, I'll file it. It goes into the front of this little box. Until yesterday, it was crammed so full. Well, this weekend, it was crammed so full. I could not cram anything else in that box. And I don't know that it was me that crammed it, because why would I do that? Would I really make more work for myself knowing that's what was coming? Don't answer that. Be nice. So yesterday I took out this box, and it's like a circus car. That's what one of the ladies I watch calls her cabinets when she goes through her cabinets. She's like, it's a circus car. They just keep going. I had a stack this high on my table. I had stacks on the floor. I had stacks beside me. And then I had a huge stack to shred. And Dee Dee, no, it is not possible to shred it and not make a mess. I tried really hard yesterday. I did overheat my shredder. That took me half the day. Oh, for instance, no, I would love a quilt with that. Right? I've never seen Kansas City Chiefs. I just needs to go on my bucket list. See, that would be a bucket list one. And I want to try the pieced double wedding ring. This one's an applique. I did a block on that quilt back there. That was a pieced wedding ring. It was very small, but it went really well for me. Keep it in mind, the tips and tricks I've learned from people like Melissa over at Practically Creative on circles. So circus car, that's funny. I thought it was hilarious. This lady, when she was taking stuff out of her cabinet, she's like, it just keeps going. That's how you know you're organized at some point in there. The more organized you are, the more you got stuff. Oh, let's see. What's it say? Melissa asked Dee Dee, did you talk about what to keep or how long? And Dee Dee says, I didn't talk about that, but that's probably something I should address in the future. Good point. And yep, great minds think a lot. Me and Melissa are always on the same wavelength too. When I was going through my papers, I was like, I have next to them how long you keep. Some things you keep 3 years, sometimes things you keep 6 years. And I found in my 3 years, it was back to like 2014. So I did not declutter that in a long time. I was just stuffing as long as it was stuff. But I used to, when we had all the kids, that would be my this time of year thing. I would declutter all the papers, and I was thinking that this weekend. Oh, that's just Burn King, I did a hand piece double wedding ring. No sewing machine was used, start to finish. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. That would be amazing. Oh, wow. I bet it was beautiful. Melissa says, I'm both a degreed paralegal and certified secretary. I have lists in my head of things you should keep and for how long. And Halo says, well, how far and how long did that take? I hope you kept it too. If you're on Facebook, some of these ladies are on Facebook, like Melissa and Sylvia D. All her friends are on Facebook, really, except for me. I'm not on Facebook. If you have a picture, I bet they'd love to see it. You don't have to, no pressure. I wasn't trying to, group intimidate you or anything. That's not okay. Wow. She says, yes, I did 7 years. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah. Angel says, OMG, that is a treasure. Absolutely. Wow. I was thinking, okay, something else on my list. We're talking quilty things, sewing things. Anybody else trying to do, because I've seen a lot of people doing it, anybody else trying to do a no buy January? Anybody? See, I'm trying to limit my buying because of budget, not because of stash, because we all know that my stash is not going to exceed my life expectancy, which I think is the standard. Sylvia says, "Oh my Fern, I thought my 1-inch height quilt took a long time. Was on that 5 years. Hexies. Wow. Now, see, I wouldn't give something like that away. It would go in my will to somebody, but I don't think I would give it away." I've seen some people do it. I watched some different ladies over the weekend, and one was lessons learned, and also Melissa, Kate, the last homely house. She was doing the thing with scraps too, and lessons learned was doing a no buy kind of thing. And I was like, I tried to do a no buy month. I knew I was going to have to buy when I finished this. I needed that 1 yard of fabric. I did piece the frankenbatting. I did do the frankenbatting. I had enough from my last one that I pieced that together, and I had just enough with, a little bit left over. So, but I was like, they had a panel, and I got one son one, and I told my husband, I said, I was going to give this to our oldest one. I was going to give this to our oldest one. I was like, one, he doesn't have any kids, and it's kind of, Christmassy, childish. I don't know. I said, do you think he'd enjoy a dragon one better? Kind of like I'm going to do Josh. And he said, yeah. So I got a dragon panel for a future project. And I think I'll probably have scraps and stuff left over from Josh's I could probably use in his. So 2 for 1, hopefully. I may have to buy some more though. But I was trying not to buy. And I did okay. There were sales. Oh my gosh, everybody kept having sales and cute things like Amazing Grace panels. It was hard. Oh my gosh, it was hard. Oh, lime green what? Let's see. I haven't spent. Len said I haven't spent any money on sewing items this year. Woohoo! Good job. I was like, I can't really see how I could do that because I don't keep things like batting or, well, the backings I want. The 108 backings I get for yardage that I have. I could use one of those as a backing if I had to, but that's not what they're intended for. So I don't get battings and backings to stockpile. So that's something I buy as I go usually, unless I have an absolute plan for it, like Josh's quilt. I have the backing for that already. I don't have the batting yet. Let's see, Halo says, I can tell you some people are participating in buying sewing furniture and machines instead. I guess that's something to save for. No buy, but we're going to go buy furniture. Well, I think if it makes their life easier, I'm not judging. If I had more money, I would be buying. Melissa says, my hands wouldn't do either the hexie or wedding ring. Sylvia says, it's still early, Lynn. Oh, it's still early. Shush. She's made it almost through January. This is a milestone. Oh. Fern King, yes, I watch Kate too. Melissa says, I'm on the lime green sofa too. Lynn says, yep, it is, Sylvia, and just ran out of best press. Oh, no. I know someone. Wait, do I know someone who has a homemade starch recipe? Halo's probably trying to work, and I'm going to bug her. I think she has a homemade starch recipe on her channel. So maybe you could do an alternative. Maybe. I would buy glue. If I ran out of glue, I would buy glue. Deborah says, watched Kate last night. lives in part of the world where I was born. Oh, it's beautiful. I know everybody knows everything about Kate. I don't watch her enough to know everything about her, other than it's beautiful. And she's awesome. But she was doing a sewing. You know, we all have a different version of what a crumb or a scrap is. To me, this is crumbs. All of them pretty small. I think usually scraps are bigger, but this is what I call scraps. I try to say crumbs so people aren't confused. This is my green palette that I'm using today, eventually, maybe. I know, right? Angel says, me too. Need more money in the budget, LOL. Yeah, Lynn says it is for me, Colleen. Usually shop the sales in January. Oh, yes. It's a horrible thing. All the decluttering and organizing things really hit in January, and all the sales really hit in January. I think they're preying on us. Decluttered this. Okay. And I'm telling you, if I declutter 6 things, I will reward myself if I feel like it. I haven't done that in a long time because less is better for me. But there was a time where I was like, I got rid of like 10 tops. I'm going to go buy 2. Kate's fan group is referred to as the lime green sofa. Oh, okay. I was thinking, I don't remember you ever saying you had a lime green sofa. Melissa said that. We'll check out homemade recipes, Lynn said. Yes, we do. Not working yet. Oh, okay. Angel says, yes, we do. Not working yet. We good. I'm here for you right now. You are awesome. Last week, my husband interrupted my time with you, as he does. I don't know why Wednesdays it's so hard for me. I even have an alarm set. But he was home last Wednesday. I get the TV on, and you know what he says about your son? It wasn't bad. Turn TV on. Who's that guy? That's her son, who is younger than our oldest. Oh. Okay. I don't know about any of you ladies. I am not interested in children. I call them children and kids. My kids' ages. I like he is just funny. What was it he said? He said something that was hilarious. I can't remember now, Angel. I should have said it was your husband. That would have set him all kinds of off. I bet I could still, because he doesn't remember things that I tell him because he's not really paying attention even when he asks. Melissa's looking at having to buy a new office chair. And she says January is white sale month. Sheets, blankets, pillows, at least traditionally. And then Dee Dee says, yes, I feel the same way. If I get rid of 6 things and only replace them with 3, I'm still ahead. Yay for me. Yes, and that's what I was thinking when I was watching you. You were talking about an empty space. You're like, I could get something in here to put there. And well, you did get rid of like 40 somethings. It sounds like a good trade. My oldest is 32. To my husband is his birthday. 32 this year, this month. Yep. We got a 32, a 31, no, 29, 22, 29 and 22. I think I've got that right. I haven't done the math in a while. Melissa says, my kids are 34 and 38. I feel older now. It wouldn't be the first time someone would think Michael is my husband. Gross. Oh my God. I'm with you. Well, Angel said that. Just no. Just no. Okay. Oh, PJs, let's see. Somebody's friend said, my husband knows almost everyone I watch and where they are from. Mine does too. And he's seen me watch Angel several times. Because I was like, she has the shop, is what I always say. She has a shop. And he's like, lots of people have shops that you watch. Okay. I think that's why you noticed there was a guy on there recently that he hadn't seen. Because he usually is at work at that time. I figured out the PJ bottoms. This, you know, stick it in your file for later. If you don't do any sewing, this was my first try, so I'm sharing. This is the casing. I was supposed to cut it on the fold, but I'm pretty sure what I was supposed to do after that, it goes around the waist. Pretty sure after I put one side on the fold and cut it, I was supposed to cut that fold side because this would then fold this way for the waistband, which would make it just the right size for a waistband. I got it on the fold like that and opened it. So the waistband was ridiculously big and I folded it over. But now I know. And my next time, and there will be a next time, my husband's already requested 3 or 4 more because these fit him. I folded it over and made this part right here ridiculously thick. And I did not do a good job down here because I knew it was not a good job. But he loves them. He says they are roomy. They're warm and comfy. And I was feeling they don't give great directions on how to finish. Just sew or serge is what it says. But these little cuffs here, you can see my stitching's awful. I don't care. This one, I missed the edge on it. This was my first try. So I missed the edge on it. But they look pretty good. And they're down by your feet. So he said it looks very professional. Finished. I didn't put pockets in it. And he kept saying, are they going to shrink when you wash them? I said, it's already been washed. Oh, okay. This is going to shrink a whole lot when you wash it, isn't it? I said, it's already been washed. I think it's been washed twice. Fern says 41 and 44. So only by 13 months. Ours are 31 and 27, Halo says. Melissa, that isn't that much older. It's really not. We ain't from West Virginia. Just kidding. Oh, I call her my sister-in-law. My brother's very long-term baby's mother and everything. Girlfriend. Our joke in Missouri is about Arkansas. So we're over there, and I'm over there with my brother and her, and it's when they were just started dating. I don't even think they had their first kid yet. And he's like, who is this? And he says, my sister. And he says, oh, I thought it was another girlfriend. I said, oh, no, we're not from Arkansas. He says, I am. That was a big guy. I was like 16, 17. I was like, oh. Melissa's still waiting on the 34-year-old to grow up. I know, right? Got a couple of those. Oh, you have a serger, Colleen. You could whip those out in minutes. I was thinking that too. I was thinking, I can't see why this would be so much better with the serger. I didn't like zigzag. Like I said, this was really practice. If it fit anyone, it was lucky. I didn't zigzag the seams or anything. They're just raw right there. And that was bugging me. So I learned. I'll have to give those back to my husband. And I've got more from my mother-in-law who gifted me a ton. So I will be trying again. And I love this. Turn up right for you guys. There will be more PJs made. I told him there will be no flap in the front because I'm not there. Once I get better at this, we'll try that and maybe pockets. So yeah, my kids are 45 and 47. Lynn says you did great, Colleen. Thank you. They are really nice, Melissa says. Thank you too. I was very, very happy, although I did some things wrong. I did a lot of things wrong. I learned a ton every time I did something. And Sylvia was telling me if you cut them on the fold, you don't have that side seam, which was awesome. And all the tips and everything, I was taking them in, but you know, it doesn't make sense until you do it. And one of the things was that band. It wasn't making sense until I did it because I didn't know what it was supposed to be. I didn't know how, even though I read the directions, I didn't understand it. So until I did it, I still didn't understand it. Melissa says, oh, Fern says, we tease Kentucky. Angel says, oh, yes, Arkansas too. Oh, by the way, people from those states tell those jokes too, which makes it more fun. Well, he did eventually laugh, but I was terrified. I'd never met him. Oh, Fern says, we tease Kentucky. Frankie says, my husband's family is from Kentucky. Deborah's kids are 50, 47, 45, and 42. Yes, my youngest is younger than the grandson. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Deborah, I'm going to be the same age as your youngest. But not your youngest, your oldest. This year. My brother lives in the same town I do. Before I married, I joked that I need to move out of town so I wouldn't be forced to marry my brother. Melissa said. Oh, Angel says, I can't type what we say about Kentucky. It isn't appropriate. LOL. These states are a beautiful part of our country, and this is all in fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are not being mean. Make fun of Missouri all you want. Just don't make fun of the Chiefs. Okay, good for the Chiefs. Edward says, I love them, so cute. Thank you. But I can't type what we say. Phone typing is hard. I hate the tiny phone. I hate the tiny phone. 4 kids. Halo said, 4 kids, Deborah, and you are still sane. What's your secret? Sending them off to play with each other, right? That's what I do with mine, except for we had all boys. We had all boys. It wasn't that hard. The youngest one always had to stay in the house because his dad didn't want him to get hurt with the roughhousing big boys. Oh, Sylvia asked if Deborah had started the minions yet. She said she's going to start them in February. She hopes. Hey, let's troublemaker. Go over to Angel's channel and put KC Chiefs rule along with a bunch of hearts underneath all her videos. I might do that. She says, no Chiefs jokes. Darn. Oh, I've heard that one. Fern King says, my dad called my mom Missouri Mule. She was so stubborn. I've heard that. Angel says, laughing my butt off. Hope I dropped something. Pardon me. I forget the camera's right there when I go down to reach sometimes. Oh, I was going to say, now when I make some for my son, this is the leg part. They are way too wide. And I'm thinking if I put the side that's on the fold, which is right here, if I move it over, I just fold it under to the smallest size. I didn't cut it. If I move this over the fold by a couple inches, it would help, but I don't know if I need to change this or not. Which is, and I hate to say it because somebody's going to be weird, the crotch and the inseam. What do you call that besides? Anyway, I don't know if I should try to change that or not, because he probably stands still for me, but he's always acting annoyed. And heavens, let's not annoy the boy. So that's what I was thinking. Halo says I will use that on my husband instead. Oh, I remember hearing that a lot growing up. So that's a couple of changes I think going to be for my husband. He likes it as is, except for that waistband that I told him I'm going to fix. He didn't say he just likes the waistband. He's like, it's perfect. And I was like, I'm going to fix that waistband. Not that one, but the next time I make it, I'm going to fix it. So I'm not picking it apart. Well, let's do a little sewing. My head's feeling better. The patch works. I'm just sewing these scraps. And what I did is I drew a 3-inch square because these are 3-inch finished. You can see all my points I've lost. I'm going to lose because I made this part too small. So I enlarged this part to do a square and a square. So hopefully I don't lose all my points again. And I lost all my points because I can't sew. It does not stop me from enjoying it and being okay with that. I see my name. Melissa. Wow. Once you do it a few times, you can taper the outside part of the leg a lot. Oh, cool. Halo says, I just got an ad on my Echo show that says, buy twinkly light bulbs to light up your home. What? I don't have a seizure disorder, but may with those lights. How does that work? I've seen those. I like the slow glow and whatever. Fern says, you can't tell it looks good. Thank you. And I know Melissa's always telling me, don't point out your mistakes. But the only reason I do it is I don't have to show everybody. Nobody else knows what quilting is. I know, but so whoever gets the quilt isn't going to know. But I show you guys because I want you to see, it's still going to look good. You can make tons of mistakes. This one over here, there is not a block I didn't mess up. And it still looks awesome. It's not a show quilt. It's not meant to be. What was it? There was something on TV that was flashing a whole lot. I was like, what are they trying to do? Kill people? I can't remember what it was, but it was weird. That's not on. But I was just going to crumb piece today, and I was going to ask you guys, what do you do with your crumbs, with your scraps? Do you save them? Do you donate them? What do you do? I had sensible questions. I better stop that. I just don't remember where I wrote them down at. Very top says go Chiefs. Just thought you should know. Let's tilt you guys a little bit. Ooh, pardon me while I tilt you. Close your eyes. Don't break. I think that's okay. Doesn't cut my head off totally. But I have one drawer about this size. This weekend I went through all my scraps, which aren't a lot. And it's because I do things like this. I decided to make a block of scraps and I just start sewing them together. And these I actually ripped out of the serger cover that I made. Leftover fabrics that I had sewn together, I ripped them out. I mean, I literally ripped them. I lost my seam ripper this weekend, one of them, after it impaled my hand. You can't see it anymore, but I wonder how I manage these things. Because I was like, you shouldn't be able to do that. I was seam ripping and I had my hand down here. Well, and then I moved it because that seam was not going where I wanted to. So when I moved it, I got rougher. And when I did, I would right into my hand and that thing stung all day. That one's barely going to have enough. Oh, friend made a bear out of scraps. Cool. Let's modify a vest pattern for Wayne because he has a hernia. I drew that out onto poster board for permanent pattern. Cool. And I was wondering if I could do that somehow. When I get this pajama pattern right. Wow, that was not at all what I was supposed to do right there. Well, if it's got an 8, that's good. I don't know what I was thinking. I just turned it around and sewed the other way. Oh, help me. And when I throw away, they're like crumbs, not even crumbs, cut-offs from crumbs. Now, when I started, I would get frustrated, and I was like, I don't even want to look at that fabric anymore. Now that I realize, 1, this just saves money. 2, I love the scrappy look. I love the scrappy looks. So while it may annoy somebody else, I like it. And you have several seams, though. Lots of starch is what I do. Hey, cleaned you this morning, behave. I'll be back in chat just a second. But I grab them and I just do like this right here. I just put them 2 by 2 and I bring them over to my machine because they were over there. I sew them together and then I iron them and I grab another pad to it and trim it up. Hang on. That was not for me. I should probably get one of those flowers. Lynn says, sew them up, trim them to 2 inches square, then put them together. One day they will be sewn together to make a quilt. That'll be pretty. Don't look up and cut things. It could go badly. I didn't want to scroll back because I have had issues scrolling back. Those will make a great utility quilt. They will be nice and thick. Weighted quilts are... Have you guys seen the prices of weighted quilts? I had a friend buy one and now he's like, why? That's basically what I make with the minky and the whatever in between them. And if you use scraps, you're going to have the same thing. Big. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. I've got, I don't know if I have 1 or 2 of my mom's that I walked off with. I walk off with her things. Although I did, in case I didn't tell you, I did admit to taking the quilt blocks of my dad's, the Sunbonnet Sue. I did tell her I took those recently. She didn't seem to mind. And you know what I did the other day? I put one of these on backwards. I left it. I was like, oh, forget that. That's staying. This, I did that this weekend too, except for I don't know what finger it was. I think it was this one. You can't even see it. I touched the bottom of the plate, actually like the side bottom, like right there, on my big iron. Burnt the tar out of me. It was not a good weekend. I was like, how am I still alive? Scrap is also good for scraps. This one, Deborah, I didn't realize you had that many kids. Melissa said. And Fern said that about the app. FPP is also good for scraps. Oh, okay. I was wondering what I missed about an app. FPP is awesome for scraps. And if I can get more people interested in it and see Sylvia about it, I really enjoy doing FPP because you get scraps. And in fact, one of these, I turned the, and you won't be able to see it. So you can do this. The friendship, I think it's called a friendship ring, into FPP. So those will use lots of tiny scraps. And when I run out of scraps, I can use like, what is that, 1.5 inches strip and do it as I go along. Melissa keeps scraps for applique. Lynn has 4 children. Ooh, Melissa wanted 6 until her second C-section. I was like, no, 3. 3, and then I married a man with 2 that were the same ages as mine. So then I had 5, which sounds overwhelming, but they really kept each other busy. Now, over the weekend when I was doing this, I sprayed them with starch, then hit them with the big iron because the big iron is heavy. What did I think I was doing there? I was perfectly happy doing this for quite a long time when I made all of those little pink ones. I just liked using them up. It was no stress, no nothing. And when I'm done, all these green ones will go back in a little baggie, back in that drawer. If there's any left. I mean, I had at least a pile like that of pink ones, and I used every one of them for those little, and with very little cut off. Already did that one. Luckily, Wayne has 4 kids, so I have my 6 kids now. Yes, you do. Got one in Kentucky, one in PA, and one in Southern Illinois. I keep reaching for this one and looking up at chat. I miss it. I will iron you. And something Kate said that I did on my other one is you can get a strip of fabric, like a 1-inch strip, 2-inch strip, whatever size strip you want, and just sew these to them. I have strips. I buried. Okay, we're not unburying that. That I was gonna show you what I was talking about. It's like I like doing that too. Let's see. I'm gonna go back and chat a little bit. Melissa says, I like using scraps on almost anything. Sew them together and then lay your pattern down on it. Yep. And Deborah said only one lives near her. Let's see. Second marriage, I had 2 kids and my husband had 2 kids. Blended families. Fern King said that. I said blended families. Okay. Oh. Hard work to start with, but well worth it. Now I have 6 grandchildren. Aww. In my opinion, kids are always worth the effort, Melissa said. Sylvia is listening. So I'm just going to not burn myself on that again because that's not as fun for me as it is for you. And I'll just add until I think I got about a 3.5 inch. If I got a straight side, I'll add to it. If I don't, I'll make one. And you can tell I'm doing this backwards, so I'm not really getting a 1/4 inch over there, but I'm going to get pretty close. There's one of those little, there's a little one. scraps were very hard on my head when I first started. They don't go together. How can you put them together? They don't go together. I love scrappy quilts, but I just didn't understand how people actually put them together. It drove my head, you know. Once I just decided I was going to do it, it gets easier. And I do have, not necessarily by color, those are by color because there's one of those I ripped out, but some smaller ones on top and larger ones on the bottom of the stack. And be amazed at how fast your scraps go. And I was going to mention, you know, in the center of, I have to get back in chat. I see things I'm missing. In the center of my block next week, I did a fussy cut, this little fussy cut. I'm doing the block in 8 and 16 inches. That 16-inch one, you could fit a panel in the center. I think a 5-inch panel in the center of it. And I made a playlist for 3-yard quilts that use panels because people don't seem to understand that 3-yard quilts can be used with panels. I don't know why. All you need is a space. Replace a block with a panel. Of course, I didn't know why, so no, I'm not one to talk. Angel says, my kids are stacking. We only have 3 grandchildren. Well, I have, how many kids do I have? I'm a good mom. I have 3 that have none. But I have one by, you know, grandma adoption. That's when your son's dating somebody with a child and you decided it's yours. I just made that up. Fern only has 3 grandkids. Lynn says, my scrap blocks are just sewn together randomly. You seem to have got the idea now, Colleen. I do. But it was not easy at first. See if any of these are close to my 3 inches. I don't think they are, but I thought I put things away earlier, yesterday sometime. I'm going to take this side over here to get me straight side. I'll add to that. And that will go back up in the crumbs. Oh, I saw. Okay, so I'm going back a couple weeks for this one. I don't always see the chat and something popped up. What the heck is wrong with me? Something popped up that I saw Dee Dee say she inspires me or encourages me, enables me something when it comes to things that are non-tool related. If it requires an electric tool, it wasn't her. How did I miss that? Don't ask. I'm telling you, it's a wonder I've got all my fingers. See that? That's just too small for me. That my seam is going to take up every bit of that. So that I would toss. That side's a little bit tattered from somebody ripping it off. I just sit here and I do this till I don't want to anymore. I think if it was food, they'd call it a palate cleanser. I've got so many things, and honestly, today, over the weekend, I was thinking I am just kind of tired of designing and thinking, doing things that take so much thought. So today I thought, well, it's not the end of the month yet. I'm not going to quilt on that in a live because then something will definitely go wrong and I'll get aggravated, and my back doesn't need that right now. So itty bitty pieces. And if you're missing chat, they're talking about a 365 quilt blocks. I think they're FPP. Lynn says, I have one of those too, Colleen. My son's girlfriend has a son. And of course, it's yours. That's just all there is to it. Yeah, I've never had him ask, what do you want to be called? Come see Grandma. That's just what we do. I know a lot of people like the, I don't need to take that off. And it's less cheating piece too if you don't do things like that. Like the plastic, like the, I think they're 12 by 12. Usually I see them for scrapbooking. Things to keep projects in. Those would be good to keep scraps in and be right about size. But I've discovered over using things like that, I don't like to have to take a lid off. I like to open a drawer. And I think the ones I saw were like 20 bucks a piece. I can get this drawer unit for that. Not at IKEA, and it's the same thing. But I like being able to open a drawer. Yeah. But this is so not stressful now. This is just grab and go. That's one I cut off earlier. Whoops. It wasn't looking at what's sideways. That may not be any good now. Lynn says, I spent most of the weekend in bed, felt so unwell, much better now. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you feel better. Deborah says the book is FBP and they show sample quilts. Fern, oh no, that was probably me trying to get myself again. Oh no, her AirPods died. That's not good. Mine die when my husband tries to call and then I don't know he's trying to call. It did not work out so well. That's okay. Just sew it to something else. Deborah, I bought Quilter's 1000 blocks. Love the blocks in this book. I think it is Sylvia. Sylvia asked if that was FPP too. I'm going to get a 3-inch block. I thought working on this was a good idea also because Valentine's Day is coming up. And pink and hearts and, you know, all that good stuff. And Sylvia, in case I haven't mentioned it, she teaches FPP. And her contact information is always below my videos. She makes it very simple. She's very encouraging, very helpful. She also makes custom FPP from pictures for sale. That's where Deborah's Minions came from that she's going to work on next month. And my gosh, I've gotten more stuff from her. First thing she made me, in case you know, was the first thing she made and said I could make was going to be her doing it too, was a emu. I about died over how many pieces that thing had. I was just, you're kidding me. I can't do this. It's just, yeah, you can. I got one side long enough. Yep, one side long enough. I need to add. And here we go. I'm going to scoot it over because that corner is a little bit knocked off. And I'm going to turn it sideways. I scooted it over and turned it at an angle. Freestyle. That's why I should have named this Freestyle crumb piece. Well, that's not going to hold it. Stop that. I'll probably do for a needle change. I did give it a quick clean out before the live. Deborah says it has templates, foundations, applique patterns, embroidery design, and techniques. Wow. 365 book is all FPP. Nice. A little bit more. Almost there. I was shocked at how much of my crumbs this used up over the weekend. I didn't even realize it. So I made that big stack disappear. I was going to do it's not a time lapse. Take a picture of it, and then the pieces I take, and then that picture, because I recorded it. Nope, that's already got pink. I don't want pink again. Still haven't used my emu block. I think I need to use it. I put mine in the quilt I made for baby girl right before Christmas, for Christmas. Apparently they love quilts. And I do lots of just random quilts, random block quilts now. And at first I was like, I've got random blocks. What do I do? And the girls are like, put them in a pillow, put them in a, bag, do this, do that. And I was like, I don't do bags. Don't do pillows usually. But I can put them in a setting that kind of will match them together a little bit better. This thing. Yeah, I'm going to call that one no good for me. There are places, I don't have any that I know of, at least not that I could drive to, that take scraps for animal bedding. I don't know any around here, but I know there's people that do. Oh, come on. This one does not want to cut. Finally got a 3.5-inch block out of it, and it doesn't want to cut. We're not playing that today. There's lots of seams to go through, so. There we go. 3.5-inch block. Let's find my corners. And the whites are scraps too. No, that's not right. What was that supposed to be squared to? What was it, 3.5? Where'd my template go? There's a reason for that. It's not quite, yeah, that was wasteful. The block is going to be 3.5. This wasn't supposed to be. That's okay because it's scraps. That'll go back in. That'll go back in. Not a big deal. I forgot that's why I had this. Because I was talking. If I talk less and pay attention more, I can do more, but not like in a live. I'm just making sure those corners are over approximately the same amount. I've cut it big enough that should work. And if it doesn't, I'll correct it next time. There's times to get really stressed. This is not it. I'm using scraps. So, you know, the 2 inches of fabric is not something that I'm going to cry about. I can do that over the the bigger things I make. Oh, Melissa Halo says, I didn't know what that was either. Fabric mulch is fabric that is mulched down to make new fabric. Cool. Fabric mulch. I've never heard of that. I missed where to. Like, oh, Halo said, we have a place out here that takes scraps for fabric mulch. That's where it came from. You notice I'm a little haphazard about this. Just grab it and put it on. This is not going to stress me out. And I was trying to think of something to put on that quilt to add to it. And I was thinking about flying geese, but I really want to do flying geese. So a square and a square. And my 2-inch square wasn't big enough. It didn't fit the dimensions right. My 2-inch FPP, I think I bought over at Halo's. I think I did. She has FPP stuff. I see you. Recycle fabric. Oh, Great idea to recycle fabric. I sometimes put my trimmings on the compost heap. Ah, yeah. We have pieces of a dozen more and one to be trimmed down. Just thinking you were being pretty particular with scrap sewing. I can be. I start overthinking it, and I catch myself doing that quite a bit. I do try to overthink it. That's my natural go-to. This is a 4.5-inch ruler from Missouri Star. That's one of my favorite small rulers. It does not look like a square. That's because I messed up that seam. Don't care. It's going. Thinking I'm not going to keep the edges on that. Why is that? Messed up the corners. Did I just? Oh no. See that? Not a square. Right. I think we're going to have to fix it because it just barely cut there. Right there is what I'm going to have to fix. They just barely cut there. It went out of whack. It happens. All the time. I actually have learned that I need to check my seams after I sew things. A lot more. I'm just going to go back over it. I'm not even going to take it out. Oh, I thought I was. It's more squares, probably a little bit smaller than it was supposed to be. Don't care. Somebody, quilt police somewhere is dying. What's wrong with her? If you notice, the tags in all my lives, I think, say no quilt police. It's for you, not for me. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good means it's more or less on one side. I'm not going to stress about it too much. I'm going to press it really flat. I may have to trim it again. I usually press it before I trim because it flattens all that fabric, pushes that all out. So clearly you're going to have more fabric. Anyway, we got one done. And one is one less than I have to do later if I do this. And this is what is going in the garbage. Why can't I say that word fancy? It always sounds hiccupied when I say it. We're going to wrap it up because, wow, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, who's being an enabler now? I think that's all my chat is enablers. We love helping. You should. Melissa says, I see short in my future about scrap sewing. Oh, and is Mom and Pop still at the road to California? Are they still traveling? I know that was a weekend. I have no idea what that schedule is. If it's like a week-long thing, it's a weekend thing. I don't know. But Mom and Pop are on usually after me, 11 Eastern time on Tuesdays, and they are on Saturdays unless their schedule changes. Go over there, subscribe to them, click that bell for notifications so you know when they're on and when they aren't. Thank you. Halo says, so cute. Thank you. You were my enabler then. is what Deborah said. Deborah just got in yesterday. That is one heavy book. Lynn says, yippee, cute block, thank you. Yes, it is, Deborah. Fern King said, yes, I think so. Practically Creative. They will be back in February. Okay. Okay. So until then, go over there and see what they got. Them being gone isn't going to stop me. I'm going to tell you where they are and how to find them. Oh, signing off, pals. Have a great day. My Big Tidy Up says. You have a great day too, and we'll see you Friday at 5 p.m., which I may or may not leave a comment. Depends on how my husband's acting, whether I remember to or not. Oh, thank you for this. Such a cute plug. Thank you. And I hope you get your scraps and do something creative. Don't know what that means to you, but do something creative. Melissa says, have a great day, all. So I think we're done. And I say, have a great day, y'all. Take care. Be the light you want to see others. People, it's a good time to lead with kindness. Love your neighbors. I know I'm a terrible person for saying that, but love your neighbors. Lynn says bye. Aw, Angel says, TY for being the light, Colleen. That's the light inside me that's shining out. See you next week. And next week we'll do that block. I already have the pattern cutting stuff up for it and templates. Well, not up on my channel, but I've got them made, got them ready to share. I'll see you next Tuesday, 7 a.m. Bye.